toughen up the front end of your 2024 or newer Toyota Tacoma, whether it's for the look of your build or for your more off-road lifestyle, this 9-top hybrid front bumper with black recovery points will be a great mod to check out. Now, this hybrid front bumper will be tailored to the Tacoma owner who's looking for easy front end protection, requiring no modification for their truck. Now, this is great for day-to-day use and light to moderate off-road usage with the design, holding up well no matter where you're adventuring. It also will no doubt make the front end look more rugged compared to these flimsy factory Valence, and will keep it more simplistic in design if you want a more toned down look compared to some other busier options, while still getting the function that you need for the front end of your truck. The main benefit of this is the lower protection that you get no matter where you are, whether it's big or small debris kicking up on the road or moderate obstacles off-road, holding up 10 times better than those factory plastics. Now, being a hybrid bumper, this is just going to be a steel plate that goes over the crash bar, keeping all of the factory safety equipment in check so you can keep it up to standard. It will strictly replace that lower Valence for protection and integrate recovery into the mix. Now, the black recovery hooks not only blend in very well with the rest of the system and keep to the neutral color scheme if you're not necessarily a fan of the more classic red approach, but they'll also help you in whatever recovery situation that you get yourself into. Now, these will have a frame-mounted build for the extra strength, the ability to accept a 3/4 inch D-ring or a soft shackle, and when used with a brittle, which 9-top recommends, this will have a working load of roughly 11,000 pounds. Now, this system, specifically the bumper portion, is going to be made of a 3/16 inch high-strength steel, so it will be durable, and because of its hybrid design, it's going to be very strong without really weighing down the front of your truck in comparison to a heavier full bumper choice. Now, we'll also have a nice textured black powder coat to it on top to protect the steel from any rusting, and the front recovery points will also be covered in a black finish. Now, those are going to be made of a 5/8 inch steel, being incredibly thick to maintain a trustworthy recovery point, and will mount directly to the frame so you can get the most strength that you can get. Now, the bumper itself will also have some cutouts, as you can see in the center, for some extra styling and character, but it also is for ventilation and drainage to make sure that no debris, mud, or whatever else gets trapped behind this bumper. This bumper is roughly $1,100, which is right in the middle of the price spectrum actually compared to others on the page. Now, the one up that this has over a majority of the other choices is that this is strictly going to replace that plastic Valence, and it's not going to require any modification, drilling, or any cutting in order to install this, while still offering functional protection and recovery. It's also a milder option for the Tacoma owner looking to keep it simple and stylish and wants a bumper that's not going to be too busy with the features that they may not use, or a price point that may not be in the budget. Install here will be a lighter 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. I would recommend having a little bit of mechanical experience in order to install this, but all said and done, it should take about 2 hours or so to do it. Now, at this point, I'm going to pass you over to one of our installers. They are going to show you a step-by-step breakdown on how you can get this onto your truck, whether you are doing this yourself at home or you're just curious about the install. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into it.
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact and ratchet, an 18, 17, 17 swivel, 14, and 10 millimeter socket, a Phillips head socket or screwdriver, 17 millimeter wrench, flathead screwdriver, and a trim panel tool.
All right, today we're gonna be installing a hybrid front bumper on our 24 Tacoma, so let's get started.
All right, to do this front bumper, we do need to take our front bumper off. So there's a bunch of connectors and everything that we need to disconnect. So we're gonna do it the safe way and disconnect our negative terminal off our battery. So we're gonna grab our ratchet and shallow 10 millimeter socket and take this terminal off. Just loosen it up, and just wiggle that off, and we just set that aside. So we're gonna come to the front of the hood and we're gonna take our fresh air duct out. So we have 4 push clips going along it. They're nice and easy to remove. Just push down until they click. And then don't drop them, but you can gently lift up and they will release. And we can take our duct out of the way. So right here on the passenger side, you'll see 3 connectors. We're just gonna need to disconnect them. So push down the tab, just pull apart. Same thing for the other 2. So now we're gonna come to the center of the bumper here. We have 3 10mm bolts, 2 on the other side, 1 in the center, and then 4 more of those push clips going across the front. So we're gonna start with our push clips, push down and remove them, same as the fresh air duct. And we're gonna take our ratchet with our 10mm socket and take those 3 bolts out. So now we're in our wheel well. We're gonna come and take out two more 10mm bolts. This top one here, this bottom one, and then 2 clips here. These are easy to remove. Just gonna grab a flathead screwdriver and just give them a 1/4 turn, and they should just pull out. We're gonna take our ratchet with a 10mm socket and take those 2 out. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So now we're underneath our bumper here. It's still in the wheel well. You'll see 2 bolts on the inside here. I'm gonna grab our ratchet and 10mm socket and take those 2 off. All right, you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll come to the front and take the rest, to take this whole panel off. So we're at the front here. To remove the rest of this panel, you'll see 5 10mm bolts going across. Grab your ratchet and socket and take those out. Just make sure you have a hold of it for the last one because it will fall. We can set this aside. So now we have that panel out of the way. We have 2 more 10mm bolts, 1 here and then 1 here. Same thing, grab your ratchet and take them off. So on the other side, we're gonna pull back our fender liner here, and you'll see 1 more 10mm bolt exposed. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So now we're ready to take our bumper off. We just need to release it from either side, and then we can pull it off. So we're gonna come to our fender liner, just grab the edge of the bumper, give it a good tug. Release it out of its tabs. Do the same thing on the other side. And we're just gonna gently lift up on our tabs in the engine bay. And that will release them, and we can pull our bumper straight off. All right. Just lift that off and release. So now we got our bumper on a surface, so we're not gonna scratch the paint. We had a bunch of Phillips head screws on the bottom of the back of the bumper. There's 14 in total. So we're gonna grab our ratchet, and we have a Phillips head socket. Just to make it a little bit faster, you can do this with just a Phillips head screwdriver, but we're gonna take all these out. Just keep continuing along. So across the top here and a few across the bottom, you'll see some releasing tabs. Now we're going to use our trim tool. If you just go on the top of them, it'll get that locking tab out of the way. Now you're not going to be able to see this because we do need to flip this over in order to remove this lower trim piece. So we're going to flip this over and get that off, but we're going to be using this trim tool to help release these tabs. So you see our trim is already starting to peel up here. What we need to do is grab our trim tool and our fog light trim, and you'll see it goes, our lower trim goes underneath that. So we're just going to need to lift that up a little bit and use our trim tool and help get that out of the way. We're going to release all of our tabs. Just have a few more tabs on the lower. We can put this aside. So now we're going to grab 5 of our Phillips head screws that we took out, and we're going to reinstall them for our fog light trim to hold that back down. We're going to start here, grab our ratchet and Phillips head socket or a screwdriver. If you need to, just push up on the trim and just work your way across. So now it is optional to take this off if you want this plastic trim over the bumper, but if you want to, just gonna release some tabs. There's some tabs in the middle here, just push down. Same thing on the side. Push down and release that. One more here, and same thing on the other side. So now we're gonna come up under our bumper support and we're gonna take these 4 bolts out and then these 2 for our factory hooks. Hooks will be removed. We're gonna start with these 2 here and grab our impact 14mm socket, take those off. We're gonna switch to a 17mm socket and take these 2 out and then these 2 for the hook. Make sure you hold on to the hook because it will fall. You can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna grab our new hook and we're gonna get that in place. It's going to reinstall with the factory hardware that we just took out. So we're gonna thread in our 2 side 17mm bolts first. Now on this outside one, I can fit a swivel socket on. This inside one, it's just a little tight in there, so we're gonna thread it down as much as we can by hand and grab an open end 17mm wrench, tighten it down. And we have our 2 14mm bolts, thread those in place. Grab our impact with our 14mm socket, tighten those down. And switch back to our 17 and tighten our back 2 down. Once you have this hook all done, you can repeat the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna get our bumper back into place now. Just carefully put it over, make sure not to scratch anything. If you need to, it does help to get a buddy. Grab the sides, pull them up over, give them a good tap to get in place. Go up top and then just push in the middle for those middle tabs. Now we can secure everything up top and work our way down. So up top here, we're gonna reinstall our 4 push clips, and then we have our 3 10mm bolts going across. Reinstall our push clips. It's nice and easy. You're gonna push your pin back through and then insert. Just line up the holes. You might need to move the plastic around a little bit. And then just push the clip back down. Grab our ratchet, 10mm socket. Tighten our 3 bolts back down. While we're here, we can re-secure our electrical connectors. Just plug them all back in. We're going to reinstall our fresh air duct. Just line it up on the air box. And then reinstall your 4 push clips, same as the other ones. Now that we have all our electrical connectors plugged back in, we can reconnect our battery, grab our ratchet 10mm socket, tighten down our terminal. Now we're going to come back to our wheel well and reinstall our 2 bolts and 2 clips. So we're just going to insert those flathead ones in there, grab our screwdriver, give those a turn and lock them down. Then we'll grab our 2 10mm bolts, one at the top, one at the bottom. Grab our ratchet and tighten those down. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna come underneath on the side over here, and we're gonna reinstall our 3 bolts. So we have our one that's under our wheel liner here. Put our wheel liner back in place, and reinstall our other 2 10mm bolts. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Always have our 2 in the middle here and here. Grab a ratchet, 10mm socket, and reinstall those. Now we're gonna get our bumper, and we're just gonna put it in place and let it rest over our new hooks. We're gonna get our hardware ready. So on either side, there's gonna be 2 bolts with a flat washer. And then there's an assortment of spacers if you need them. We're probably just gonna need one. It's just gonna go in between the bumper and the hook. So now we're gonna get our shim in place. We're just gonna slide that in between. Grab your bolts and they will thread in to the hook. We're gonna grab our impact and 18mm socket and tighten them down. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And that wraps up our install of our NiTop hybrid front bumper with black recovery points for 2024 and newer Tacoma. And remember, for everything Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.